really appreciate all the Latinos and all the black people who condemned other Latinos or other black people for spewing rhetoric, because one thing that I do love is, I do love all the protests. I do love that everybody's speaking out. I do love the fact that, this isn't just a trend and everybody's just, making sure to protest. Everybody's still signing petitions. This is still trending as we speak. It's unfortunate that a lot of cities are getting fucked up, and I'm fine with people protecting their areas and protecting their blocks. I understand, but I really, really hope that after all this is over and, all the people who have been done wrongfully, some way, somehow get justice, or at least a good chunk of them get justice. I really hope that everybody learns how to hold each other accountable and we have difficult conversations, because, a lot of people have pretty much lost sight of the protest, in my personal opinion, and a lot of people have turned it into, it's the police versus the Latino, it's the police versus the black people, it's this versus the police, when in reality, it's everyone versus racism, in my personal outlook on the situation. And I really hope that after this, black men and black women don't spew more colorism, Latino don't spew more colorism, because, I don't want people after this protest of anti-blackness and Black Lives Matter, I don't want people to go back to their ways where they say, I prefer dark-skinned men because dark-skinned men are this, or I prefer lighter skins because lighter skins are this, or, oh, I don't want no black babies, or I want to get some nose surgery for some Eurocentric standards of beauty.
Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, my lord. It's Destin Troyce, and you're watching TROYCETV. So as I enjoy my lemon water that's amazing for detoxing your body and clearing cancer cells, the government's trying to kill us, I decided to do a video about everything that's been going on. And long story short, if y'all didn't hear, there's this whole race war going on because the media spun it into something that it really wasn't. And I'm going to give you guys a nice breakdown of what's been going on for the past 3, 4, 5 days. All started because a self-hating, disrespectful house Negro, aka a Dominican, decided to come on YouTube and disrespect black people and commend the Latinos who are kicking out the black protesters or the black looters in Chicago and in New York. Now, this all started because a woman took out her cell phone and she basically filmed gangs like Latin Kings and other gangbangers that are predominantly Latino harassing black people, allegedly.
Yelling and throwing shit at anybody that drives by, anybody that's black.
Doing anything, it should say.
Residents of Berwyn and Cicero out here trying to de-escalate the situation, trying to break up fights between non-black Latinos and black Americans.
So then a self-hating Afro-Latino decided to applaud all the gangbangers harassing the black people, allegedly. And he was very upset because there was a lot of Latinos worldwide standing with the Black Lives Matter movement.
Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, this is how the fuck you fucking do it, you fucking fucks, you pieces of shits. This is how you do it. Take this example. Stop fucking cocking for these fucking monkey people. These fucking savages. You're gonna let them go into your fucking neighborhood and pillage your fucking neighborhood? You're gonna let them rape and pillage your neighborhood? You're gonna hand over your women to these fucking people? No! Take this example. You people are not your friends! They're not your fucking friends! Drop the shit! Let it fucking go! They don't care about you! Let these fucking jungle people kill themselves! Protect your neighborhood! Put your people first! These the fucking Hispanic cocks! They get it first! And they get it worse than these fucking fucks! You got that? You got that? Let them go with the blacks. Let them go. May they be on the receiving end of our backlash. And may God have mercy on them. For their punishment will be 10 times worse than we will give our enemies. If you are fucking Dominican, want to be black, you better not be saying that we're black. You better not be saying that. You better not be saying that.
So then I did research on this Uncle Ruckus, and basically shout out to the Radical Latino because they found some old photos of him, and yep, he looks like a nigga to me. This nigga bitch. By the way, this guy's name is Anthony Batista. He's known for doing a lot of very anti-black things, and he's also known for making Dominicans look very, very bad.
If you saw some blacks that look suspicious, yeah, get them the fuck out of the neighborhood. Get them out of the neighborhood.
Dominicans don't want to say that they're black. Leave them alone. It's none of your business. It's none of your business. Take your little gremlin, little turd-looking ass, all right, and turn right around.
You know, Hispanic women are much more desired than black women. They are the most undesired women on the planet.
Dominican Republic is a Hispanic nation. All right, it's a Hispanic nation. All right, meaning not an African nation. Okay, anything African will be rejected by me.
He's gone viral a few times, and a lot of his videos have pretty much resurfaced. So the phrase Dominican was trending all over Twitter, and the phrase Latinos, MS-13, Latin Kings, those particular phrases were trending all over Twitter because there's this huge rumor and narrative going around that Latinos are a part of Latin Kings, which is a very popular gang, and MS-13, which is a very popular gang, and the gang 2-6 are more particularly attacking black protesters and black looters. So the reason why this argument incited overall was because a few Latinos who are part of these gangs decided to come forth and tell people to stay the fuck out of their city.
Bro, whoever, I know who from the neighborhood, I know who not from the neighborhood. I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. Y'all did all that shit to y'all stupid ass neighborhoods and y'all broke all y'all shit, which was cool with me. And then, oh yeah. And then to the people that said we was police because we was protecting our neighborhood, your mama a bitch, and I hope that bitch die in this motherfucking riot on bro grade, cause there wasn't no motherfucking way motherfuckers was gonna come. The motherfucker gotta wake up still and see, look, the reality of this riot still ain't kick in for y'all yet. See, y'all motherfuckers still ain't ran out of milk, y'all still ain't ran out of food, y'all still ain't sold all them clothes and spent all that little money y'all got off all that shit. The reality ain't set in yet. It ain't up until you motherfuckers ran out of money, until you motherfuckers ran out of food, until you motherfuckers ain't got none of them clothes, and where you think you're gonna get all the rest of that shit at? Cause it ain't gonna be from none of them stores that you J down on, cause them bitches gone. So, and I already see people posting status, man, we finna go to Little Village for groceries. No, you not. No, you not. You not. No. Them nice groceries and all, them from our people. Them from Little Village folk now.
Y'all thought we was playing, bro. Look at this. Y'all thought, yo, Mark, tell them they thought we was playing. Look, I'm gonna just show y'all for yourself.
Ain't nobody trying to fight.
Tell them noodles we out here.
Now this all spiraled out of control, more so because a lot of these Latinos are very passionate, saying get the fuck out of our cities, stay out of our cities. Not only that, a lot of people have been going on Twitter, been going on Instagram, writing up notes, and also saying that Latinos have more particularly been targeting them. And there was even a rumor going around that a dude got beat the fuck up with a baseball bat. There was a rumor going around that a pregnant woman got snatched out of her car. So many media outlets referenced these particular tweets and Facebook status. One woman said, if you are black, do not go over there between 47th and 59th. Just nowhere past Western. The Latin Kings are wearing all black and waiting for traffic lights to turn red, attacking black people that are driving by. And another user said, I just got attacked by 5 Mexicans on Roosevelt and Cicero. They grabbed me and this other girl that was in a blue Impala and busted all our windows. I'm fine and a little shocked, but I'm fine. Try the best to stay away from Sincero, Little Village, anything south of Cadezi. They are attacking black people. And there was also a video of a woman getting her car smashed the fuck up.
The other way.
Oh my God! He just hit the window!
The other way.
Oh! You need to get from over there, bitch!
So this overall incited a race war on Twitter because everybody pretty much just said Latinos are anti-black, they're coming for us black people, this is why we don't claim some of y'all. It just overall spiraled out of control, and then this video going viral just made it worse.
That shit. I better not see no people from the north side, no east side, no motherfucking west, especially the west side. Y'all showed the fuck out.
Now, more particularly, the areas that everybody's been talking about is a city called Little Village in Chicago, where it's mostly Mexicans, Latinos, Dominicans, and a city called Dykeman, where it's mostly Dominican people and it's mostly Latinos that live there. So, overall, a lot of these gang members have been teaming up and they've been pretty much trying to make sure the looters don't come to their city, especially the Bronx. The Bronx is not playing that shit. Newark, New Jersey is not playing that shit because everybody just wants to keep the peace. Because I know a lot of people are saying that looting is okay, let the loot happen, let it happen, which I understand. Majority of the people who live in these neighborhoods don't even own shit in there anyway, so if people want to loot and burn shit down, that's them, that's their business. But at the same time, you can't get mad when people who live in these areas are condemning the looting. So a lot of these Latino gangs were condemning the looters and saying, no, we don't want that shit in here, we don't want it in here, and people automatically connected it to black people. So people tied the anti-blackness issue to that.
Black Latinos, and they're all non-Black Latinos, and there's just a lot of internalized racism.
There have been multiple videos shared on social media of Black people being targeted by Latinx gang members, not only in Cicero, but in the city's Little Village and Pilsen neighborhoods following incidents of looting. On Monday in Cicero, WGN saw men with semi-automatic weapons on rooftops and others walking through the neighborhoods with bats and pipes, vowing to protect their property. But residents say it's gone beyond that. Now Latinx groups are holding peace rallies like this one in Little Village to say both races need to be united.
Our lives as brown people is connected to the lives of black people. We will never get respect until black people get respect.
But in reality, that wasn't the case at all. Because if anyone did their research, which most people who read these headlines don't, they would know that a lot of black people live in these areas, and a lot of black people were also a part of these MS-13 Latin King gangs, and that has nothing to do with that. In fact, several videos from New York and in Chicago were posted to show this isn't true. This is not the Latinos versus black. One individual that lives in Chicago said, "To those who try to make this a race thing, it's not. I'm black and I'm a part of the Little Village community. We do not want rioting/looting in our neighborhood." Now, come to find out, it was the media actually spinning a terrible narrative because dude that went viral, he actually cleared the air recently today. And not only that, multiple Chicago natives that live in Little Village spoke out and said that the media was lying.
No matter what fucking color it is, I don't care if you white, black, Chinese, none of that. I've been said that. I got people in my community right now and we all showing love, bro. We feeding everybody, we drinking real good, we smoking. We keeping it like a real, you know? Come on, man, we got more black folks coming down the block, coming to join us at this time of peace. You know, they all welcome in the hands of everything, you know?
You feel like people are generalizing too much or what?
In all honesty, I'm a hood nigga. I don't feel generalizing mean a lot of things. I'll tell you this, they generalizing a lot of wrong shit.
Right.
If you're gonna generalize something, you gotta generalize the right shit. All off of me saying something about looters, it had nothing to do with black people. Yet again, I'm the only Hispanic, the second day in a row. I got black people all over here, eating with us, drinking with us, smoking with us, and it's all love. Half of these black people I grew up with, these are my people personally. The street, we don't know who them people is. They came over here to show love. Them women and children over there.
Right.
Those are women and children. Again, women and children. Ain't nobody touching them. They out here with the gang members. We out here up in the community. It's all love.
But yeah, y'all, don't get it twisted, man. Black and brown folks need to stick together. Our liberation is intertwined. We gotta check that anti-black sentiment that exists in the Latino community.
What y'all gotta say to him, man?
Shit, man, all we gotta say, man, is, you know, we gotta take care of our neighborhood, and that's it, man. Hey, it ain't nothing about color. We're not towards color, man. All we gotta do is take care of our neighborhood. That's it, bro. We gotta take care of what little we have, man. We don't got shit. We don't got shit out here, man.
And that same thing I said, respect. Respect, y'all don't want nobody coming down to y'all neighborhood tearing shit up. It's about respect.
And letting the media dictate what's going on outside. You know, that's like looking at the news.
what the news gonna put on the news, shit they want you to see.
Yep, they
What
want
the
us
media gonna put on the media, shit they want to see happen.
they want us to fight each other, bro. Because at the end of the day, they know if we stick together, we're gonna take everything down, bro.
Man, straight up.
And then the New Yorkers in Harlem and in the Bronx and in Dykeman actually addressed all the fake news.
My whole thing is, why you can't agree that was handled wrong though, bro? Like it ain't need to be 50 niggas with backs though.
Before you even go off rip, when they reached out to us, we said the same thing. It was handled wrong. We're not disagreeing with that. We're not disagreeing with that because the kids was actually here getting some weed. We're not disagreeing with that. It got handled completely wrong. But at the end of the day, moving forward, we trying to handle it the correct way. I'm trying to reach out to them kids and tell them, come back, come spend the day with us.
Man, listen, we squashed the beef that everybody thought there was beef, but there wasn't. It was a misunderstanding. We got Flacco from the BX, Scrub, Dykeman is in the building, and I want to personally say I apologize for what happened. We are men of our word, and there's no more to it, man. At the end of the day, I want people to understand we all unified. We all bleed the same color. We all bleed the same color, and we did this so people could stop promoting violence, and we're not about violence. At the end of the day, we all going through the same struggle.
So obviously that was debunked, and that was the media doing what they do best. And I really want to address the fact that people have to understand that we're losing sight of the entire issue here. But I think that if anyone's going to loot and burn shit down, I think we should burn their asses down, because the media, unpopular opinion, is pretty responsible for all the negative trades and all the negative xenophobia and racism that goes on. Now on Twitter, a lot of Dominicans and fellow Latinos were actually condemning other Latinos, which I highly respect, because although that was fake news that Latinos were more so targeting black people and it wasn't the truth at all, a lot of Latinos respectfully took it as an opportunity to condemn other Latinos, other Dominicans for their anti-blackness, which I really respected. In the midst of the anti-black conversation, many Latinos decided to defend themselves and say, I'm not going to march for any group of people that didn't even march for my people, when the rumor was going around that they were going to throw us Latinos all out, even though I knew that was to be false. I wish the African American community support Latinos when we march for our justice as well. Then another one said, let the kids in cages at the border go with their parents. It's time to march for the borders. Let Latinos go. Then many Latinx people really shut shit down when they said and addressed anti-blackness. And one of them said this, it's a big problem within many cultures. Anti-blackness to be more specific, but Hispanics do it the most and then expects blacks to stand with them when it's time to march against ICE, which I'm 100% for immigrants coming to America. And I thought this statement was the perfect statement to really make everything so simplistic, because it just really goes to show you that a lot of people miss the bigger picture, because, you know, we've all had really negative experiences with all groups, but we have to be honest that there is a lot of anti-blackness going on with a lot of Latinos that have been colonized by a lot of European settlers. And it's unfortunate because they do come from black people as well. But at the same time, considering that a lot of them aren't black, a lot of them carry these anti-blackness ways. And if in reality, if a lot of them were white, they would be just as bad as a lot of the racist people that are out today.
As a fellow Dominican woman in America, as a fellow Hispanic woman in America, I'm very disappointed in my people. And everything that is going on and everything that I've been seeing is disgusting. Especially at a time like this. Do you know how disrespectful that shit is? And you know what really pisses me off too? Is that Spanish people are so quick to say that has nothing to do with us. We're not black. Dominicans, we're not black. That has nothing to do with us. Okay, yeah, George Floyd died. It's sad, but everybody dies. People get killed all the time. Do you hear yourself? Do you fucking hear yourself? What if it was your son? What if it was your father? Would you have that same reaction? That's how you would feel? What if somebody told you, I don't care, I'm not Spanish. That has nothing to do with me. Fuck that. How would you feel? And you know, that's the problem. It's too many opinions and not enough facts. We're not educating. When people say stupid shit like that, ignorant shit like that, we're just so quick to just spaz. Let's try to educate. That's what I'm coming on here to try to educate, because I myself have had my personal experiences with the law, with other races. I've been racially profiled, and I'm a Dominican woman. in America.
Now, because of assimilation and internalized racism, we have constantly been suppressing the beauty and the survival of our African and Indian ancestors while celebrating white supremacy. So because of our complacency and our lack of accountability, I can understand why some black people will look at us and be like, are they really with us? Some Americans don't know the history of the Caribbean, so I can expect a little bit of ignorance from there. Americans don't even know American history, and that's all because of white supremacy. This is just us not knowing our history, not knowing what happened and where the fuck we landed. And living in the U.S., I know that there are a lot of Latinos who perpetuate racism themselves, and the only time they bring up race is when they want to say the N-word.
A lot of people turned it into one of those things where they said, well, why should we stand for black people? They didn't say anything when we were being thrown into ICE and when Trump made fun of us for being Mexicans and Trump created xenophobia amongst Latinos. And a lot of people were basically throwing that argument out there and that rhetoric out there. And a lot of people ran with it and gave these retweets and likes to all these clowns who try to sit up here and say that nobody said anything with ICE and raids going on, which is the furthest thing from the truth because that's not all the way accurate. Now, one thing that I do notice is that there is a disconnect with the Latino community and the black community because of the simple fact that a lot of their history is anti-blackness. A lot of the Latinos do use the rhetoric of bad hair and dark skin and just overall there's a lot of anti-blackness in their history. Despite me not agreeing with the tweets, I see where they're coming from because there are a lot of black people who are silent during the ICE raids and during immigration and during the xenophobia amongst Latinos, which I understand. But I can only speak for myself and a few people that I know. And I and a few people have been very vocal about the xenophobia towards Latinos and the xenophobia towards any other group. So me personally, I don't just stand for black people. I stand for everyone who's in a marginalized group. And that's kind of why I have so much love for all the allies and all the non-black people protesting. Because let's be real. Y'all seen them videos. Y'all know it's not just black people. It's everyone of all different races, genders, all different backgrounds that are protesting. So that's why I say that we should never generalize and say that we don't care about other people as a whole unless we look at the bigger picture here. And sometimes some people really are for us and a few aren't. But I stand for everyone who's being picked on and bullied and mistreated. Everyone. I stand for everyone who's marginalized and mistreated by the system. And let's be mindful that nationality is not the same as race. ICE does not see color. Only the real will understand that. The media just only shows Latinos who are ambiguous getting locked up. But trust me when I tell you, they do not discriminate as far as color. Because I was raised by 2 Haitian immigrants and best believe that they was always looking over their shoulder back in the day. Now, obviously, that whole rhetoric of them targeting black people has been debunked, but unfortunately, the media is not going to retract their statement, and they're not going to correct themselves, which is a little bit cringeworthy because now people are out here running around saying, oh, these Latinos trying to attack us, they coming for us, they not really for us, and I'm just like, yikes. Like, isn't it crazy how the media can quickly turn people against each other? A good example is what Trump did. It's funny because at first, Asians were seen as the model minorities. Everybody loved Asians. Asians got the best representation. Even though they don't get much, they got the best representation. But guess what? Once Trump said it came from China, all of a sudden that sparked xenophobia. So you see where I'm coming from when I say the media is so quick. And Trump is a big problem when it comes to that. So quick to turn on people based off of rhetorics and ideologies and claims and overall generalizations. See, it's the media that does these kind of shit. It's television, radio that does this bullshit, and a lot of times they won't retract their statement or clarify what they really meant. So it's really, really fucked up how easily people hop on these bandwagons. So when I did see these headlines and these blog posts about Latinos targeting black people, I was so fucking confused, and I already knew it was utter bullshit because I knew people who were part of Latin Kings when I was in high school, and I was just like, they've never really been known for being racist or targeting black people because there's black people in Latin Kings. So for me, I was just like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. Chris Rock one time said, if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. So I really encourage people to read on and do their own research before they believe a lot of shit like this. And also, let's not forget that COVID cases are increasing. This was COVID last week, and this is COVID this week. Stay woke, because the media is not going to tell you everything. And I mean, they're not going to tell you everything. They like to control the narrative, so that's why you should burn and loot them. They love to throw out the word of, it's not all of us. Okay, it's not all of us. No, we don't. No, it's just like, hold your people accountable if you're part of Latin descent. That's really what you got to do. I don't care if it's your mom. I don't care if it's your grandma. I don't care if it's your cousin, your little sister, your oldest sister, your husband, your wife. Check these fucking people if they say anything involving anti-blackness, because guess what they do? When you don't check them, they're going to assume that you agree with them. They're going to keep saying it around other people, and they're going to pass it on to their kids, and that's how you get fucking house Negroes like this.
It's whatever, African, I don't care. You know, maybe I do have African lips. I don't care. I mean, you see my complexion? Does my complexion match the complexion of an average African American or any African? You see my eye color? These aren't contacts. These are my eyes. You know, my hair. This is my hair. My hair is naturally like this. I didn't do anything to it. Same people will be the ones that will tell you that you are uneducated, you know, and they'll say it like this: yo, you better read them books. You better read them books. You sound mad ignorant, yo.
This is what I'm talking about. So please be sure that when you see some anti-blackness going on, please understand that you have to check it on site, especially if they're around you, because if you don't, you're only a part of the problem. And this is why I like to say that you can't let people dictate your thoughts, and you can't let comment sections, and you can't let headlines let people assume what you assume. But I really do want to point out how a lot of people have been silent, and I think we can all agree that in the midst of all this protesting, we've seen a lot of people's true colors. A lot of celebrities haven't said nothing. A lot of celebrities have been silent. A lot of them haven't done a donation. A lot of them haven't publicly, signed a petition. None of them have marched, and none of them have ever been vocal about issues in general regarding black people. So let's just be real here. It's important to acknowledge that black people do kind of have a reason to be upset and do have a reason to condemn Latinos. Even though it doesn't apply to all, that doesn't mean that it's not your colleagues. When I see bullshit like this being spewed, and when I see Latinos saying that they're white, a lot of times that makes me assume that you're going to follow the rhetoric of other white people. Like, that was a system of power that was used. That's why a lot of people that's why all Latinos spill that rhetoric of don't get a black man, don't marry a black man, don't marry a black woman, or your kid's gonna be ugly. Don't marry a black kid. Don't have black children, because they want to be a part of the majority. And a lot of times back in the day, a lot of white people promised them purity, good jobs, good health care, good opportunity, work opportunity, if they more so identified with their whiteness and disregarded their blackness. Hence why this is what I'm talking about when I say white superiority and white supremacy. They want you to be a part of them collectively. They want to cause a whole divide. The elites or whoever it is want to cause a whole huge divide amongst blacks and Latinos. They don't want Latinos to know anything about their history. That's why it's so whitewashed. That's why every time you go to places like Cuba or Ecuador or Peru or the Dominican Republic or Venezuela, you see all these statues of all these white colonizers, because it's all about white. White is right. Whiteness is right. Oh my God. We love white people. Oh my God, white people. Oh my God. So people who are of Latin descent, sometimes you got to break out of that cage, because I'm not even going to hold just Latin people accountable. I'm going to hold African Americans accountable too, or black people in general, because the same people who love to call out anti-blackness, which most of the time is black people, are the same people who do fuck shit with, saying the word nappy all the time, or disrespecting darker skinned people, or disrespecting lighter skinned people. So you see what I mean when I say that everybody has to have these difficult conversations. So I'm kind of glad that these videos went viral, and I'm kind of glad that everyone's having these conversations, and I'm kind of glad to even be doing this video addressing the divide, because this is what the media wants. Because in reality, we're all fighting the same war, we're all fighting the same battle, we're just all in different lanes when it comes to it. So this whole lack of education is what makes anti-blackness even worse, because they don't teach it in the schools, they don't teach, the proper history, in the media. Univision and Telemundo, fuck them, they're very fucking racist. If you watch a lot of their TV shows, it's always, the white boys with the slick back hair and the blue eyes. So I can understand a lot of the self-hatred. So whenever I watch a show that's from the Dominican Republic, or a show that was made in Cuba, or a show that was made in Peru or in Brazil, it looks like this. But then when I Google pictures of these people, it always looks like this. So that's what I mean when I say anti-blackness is really embedded into the media. And I think the media is the more thing that we got to talk about. So instead of, but also I feel like people also got to hold themselves accountable as well. Like, it's not just the Latinos, it's also the African Americans who carry this anti-blackness and self-hatred. It's also people in Africa who hold this anti-blackness and self-hatred towards other black people that look just like them, because there's no reason why a black person from Nigeria should be looking down on a black person from America. You know, it's just really, it's odd. It's an issue that everybody has to address themselves. You know, even African Americans, you know, some of us are out here still, you know, normalizing the fact that we're perming 3-year-old girls in their hair. Like, we're normalizing the ideology of that that mentality of darker skin is better, or darker skinned men are better than light skinned men. Like, a lot of us some way somehow have been surrounded around this anti-blackness, so we shouldn't just project all of it on the Latinos. Like, I gotta hold everyone accountable if we're gonna address this anti-blackness issue. So like I said, you know, if you guys have children, little brothers and sisters, please educate them the right way, because a lot of people, especially Latinos, have always told me that race was never brought up in their house. They view everyone the same, and I'm like, oh, that's the problem. If race isn't being brought up in your house, then that's part of the problem. Like, if you're a parent and you're not talking about racial injustices or race as a whole in your household, then you're doing something wrong, because they're going to come across these issues in life. They're going to come across these difficult conversations regardless, and guess what? They're not going to be prepared for them, and some of them are going to spew this rhetoric that they heard on TV or that they heard from their favorite rapper. You know, some of these rappers who are African American, some of these rappers who are anti-black as fuck, but no one ever holds them accountable when they're a part of the media's agenda. You ever wondered why a lot of this anti-blackness and all this colorism and all this, you know, Afrocentric feature smear campaign is still going on? The reason it's still going on is because no one addressing the bigger issue. All these Latin countries, like the Dominican Republic and America, like a lot of these countries that are tied to Europe or tied to white colonialism, or a lot of these Latin countries, Asian countries, and African countries that are in partnered with them, a lot of them aren't even realizing that the reason that they're being controlled is because the European colonizers want a reason to keep you enslaved. So while you're walking and running in a circle of light skin is better, or bad hair, oh, black people this, black, like, while we're all walking in these circles that were created for us, the people who are above and the people who are ahead in society, aka people who follow the Eurocentric standard of beauty, a lot of those people are able to prosper and grow even more. Meanwhile, all these people who are part of marginalized groups are running in circles. Like, there's no reason why in Asia skin bleaching cream is flying off the shelf. There's no reason why in Nigeria, where the standard of beauty is dark skin, that skin bleaching creams and perms and flat irons should be flying off the shelves because everybody wants to find somebody to get a job. There's a reason for that. The majority of the media in the world, I'll say at least 75% of the media in America is actually controlled by white people. Did you guys know that? 75 to 80% of the media in the world is controlled by white people in North America. In the UK, 97% of the media is controlled by white people. And in Latin America, 98% of the media is controlled by white people. So what do you think our kids are learning all this shit from? What do you think our relatives are learning all this shit from? So I understand why, you know, we have older relatives who have these slave mentalities, because that was the point of colonialism. That was the point of slavery. They wanted you to think that you didn't have worth. They wanted you to think that you were less than because you were darker. They wanted you to think that your hair wasn't right, because they knew that if you knew that and they instilled that into you, that you would continue the pattern and feed it to your kids. So you kind of have to break the cycle. And when I say break the cycle, if you're Latino or you're African or whatever you are, you need to break the cycle from you. If you see someone around you saying some anti-black shit, you kind of got to check them and correct them and tell them that how that's not okay. Because some of them will fuck around and say horrible anti-black shit or anti-indigenous shit. If you get pulled over by the cops, you think they're going to look at you and say, oh, no. He's a Dominican. He's a Cuban. No. He's a Latino. She's a Latina. Nah, she's a Latina. She's not an indigenous. She's not a black person. She's different. She's different from those people. But if you don't know your racial lineage and you're not asking your family, you're not looking at family trees, and you're not analyzing your phenotypes to figure out what your racial lineage could be, you're doing your research or learning your history, and you say that you identify with your nationality, then in reality, you're doing white supremacy work. Because when you say things like, oh, I'm not white, I'm Cuban, or I'm not black, I'm from Panama, or I'm not black, I'm from Brazil. Like, you see where I'm coming from when you do that stuff. That was the stamp that your colonizers put on your forehead. They basically engraved that stamp on your forehead, and then they put it on you so that way you can continue the cycle, so that way you can continue the cycle of confusion, so that way you wouldn't know what the fuck you are. So that's why you have so many Cubans, Latinos, Dominicans, whatever you are in Latin America, hell, even Asia, because Asians are to blame too, because a lot of them carry that rhetoric as well. a lot of people don't know that when they keep these stamps on their forehead and they keep these engraved names and these slave names, that they're not doing anything but promoting white supremacy, simply for the simple fact of a lot of them are meant to fail. You're meant to fail. You're meant to be stupid. You're meant to be led behind. Isn't it so weird how so many white European people have like a long family tree that goes back to the 1700s, but a lot of us who are a part of Latin America or part of African American lineage or Caribbean lineage, a lot of us don't have that luxury of having a long family tree. So I don't really have much to say after this. All I want to say is you got to break the cycle where it starts with you. If you see somebody in your family who's obviously mixed or ambiguous or black or white or whatever they are, spewing that rhetoric of anti-blackness, whether it's a classmate, you have to check people. Because some people don't even know they're doing something wrong. Because mentally, we've all been engraved to normalize bad behavior. This is really what the divide comes from. And divide really starts with everyone else taking self-accountability. And I really hope that after this, black men and black women don't spew more colorism. Latino don't spew more colorism. Because, I don't want people after this protest of anti-blackness and Black Lives Matter, I don't want people to go back to their ways where they say, I prefer dark-skinned men because dark-skinned men are this, or I prefer lighter skins because lighter skins are this, or, oh, I don't want no black babies, or I want to get some nose surgery for some Eurocentric standards of beauty. Like, I don't want everyone to go back to their colorist and anti-black ways after this. Like, I want everyone to just respect, love each other, and acknowledge each other's pain and hurt. So, yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I don't know if this is something that everyone expected, but yeah, this was my ideology, this was my thoughts, my opinions, my outlook on the situation, this was my breakdown. And like I say, if you're going to loot and burn shit down, burn down the media, because they're responsible for half the chaos that goes on in the world. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to make sure you read instead of reading a headline and believing the blog. And that's that. Troyce out this bitch. Tastes like shit.
Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. When I feel and I'm wrong. Sometimes it's hard to tell you so.